to this door lies another dimension. One of beeps, one of boops. A reality where 8-bit and HD clash. This is the point where new retro meet. The 6.5 dimension, protected by the arcade overlord. You have crossed into the turbo zone.
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
Pack up your stuff. I got a little surprise for you here. Check it out. What do you think about that? We got real-time, 3D, lush organic environments. How's that make you feel, buddy? Feel a little like your days are numbered?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
You're hurting my elbow.
Back in the 90s, Crash Bandicoot was a huge deal. He was the mascot of the original PlayStation. He was a platforming icon, a video game icon. And over the years, Crash faded away. Hardcore fans like myself kept up with his exploits, but after Naughty Dog let the property go, Crash just kind of fell into mediocrity. Well, I'm glad to announce that Crash Bandicoot is back.
Cortex, we haven't determined the cause of past failures.
Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general, and he will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination. This time, I shall reign triumphant. We are closer than
Oh my god, the Crash Bandicoot N.sane Trilogy is literally insane. I was expecting something that was faithful to the original games, but had its own playstyle or felt a little different. I was not expecting this. The Crash N.sane Trilogy feels almost exactly like playing the original games, if not a little improved for the case of Crash 1. And the visuals look stunning. They look absolutely stunning. This is one of the best looking PS4 games I've ever played, and it's Crash Bandicoot. And the fact that you're getting all three of the original games, which all three games are superb. My favorite's Warped, which is the game that I've played the most on this collection is Warped. But you also get Crash 1 and 2. All three of those games are legendary platformer titles. They are all three really good games. Crash 1, I would say, is the lesser of the three, but that's not saying much because it was their first outing. Crash 2 and 3 are better, but overall, they're still all great games. And seeing them with this amount of attention to detail and polish is incredible.
What have we got?
If you've ever played Crash Bandicoot before, it's a hallway platformer. You go level to level. You start from A, get to point B. There you go. That's the basic. But you know, there's more stuff outside of that. Some of the games have vehicle segments. You collect crystals. You break boxes. It's a fun franchise. I know there's probably a lot of kids out there who've never played a Crash Bandicoot game because Crash Bandicoot, like I said, just kind of fell off the radar. I think the last Crash game that I thought was faithful to the original franchise was Crash Twinsanity, which I did a review on last year. But the last Crash game was like 2008, and this is 2017, so there's still a big... That's almost a 10-year gap. So there's going to be kids that have never played a Crash game that I'm glad to say can get into Crash with this title. It's a fantastic way to get into Crash Bandicoot because... It's a love letter. It is such... I'm gushing. This game almost made me cry. Granted, I've only gotten a little ways into Crash 1 and Crash 2, but Crash Warped is one of my favorite games of all time. And to see it with this amount of detail and this much polish, it's amazing. you never see remasters like this. Most remasters try to go for a just like lazy port, like Skyrim on the PS4, or whatever else, or they up the graphics a little bit, like they just up the resolution. This game, from what I could tell, I don't know if it actually, like, I don't, because I don't know much about the actual development of this game. I know it's by Vicarious Visions, who I think they did a lot of the Crash games that were kind of mediocre, like they did like Nitro Kart and stuff, and then they did Skylanders, I believe. So I don't really know if they used the original PS1 games as a basis, but no other game that I've seen takes the original game and gives it this much detail, this much polish. Not since like the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube, really. Like, this is incredible. And I like how they kept it. They kept it faithful. They didn't kiddify it. They didn't make it where it's aimed towards kids, just kids. They kept it for the fans. This is really a game for Crash fans, like myself. I adore Crash Bandicoot. It's one of my favorite franchises. Even though, like I said, it does get so mediocre at some points, but the games that are good are fucking good. So I can forgive that here and there. And the N.sane Trilogy, I just can't. I can't say enough how awesome this game is. Like, if you own a PS4, go buy it. Like, I don't give a fuck what you play. This is in my top 5. Like, it's up there with Simon Kagura and Earth Defense Force. I think this is better than the Ratchet and Clank game, and I loved the Ratchet and Clank reboot. But Ratchet & Clank didn't really need a reboot. Crash Bandicoot did, and I think this is really ushering in the new wave of 3D platformers. I didn't like Yooka-Laylee was awesome, but I don't think that game really ushered it in like it should have. But this game definitely feels like what Yooka-Laylee should have felt like. Granted, I did still like Yooka-Laylee, but I really feel like this game just captures the magic of that 90s platformer charm.
Break out the butter. I'm gonna make toast.
And this opens the gate for tons of other options. For one being new Crash games. Hopefully this game sells great, because I would love to see new Crash games. That would make me so happy. And also, it opens the gate for other franchises like Spyro the Dragon or fucking Croc or whatever, whoever else, I don't know, old school franchises to be brought back. Hey, Microsoft, you see this? People like these platformers. Give us a Banjo-Kazooie remake or something. Like, this opens the door. In my eyes, this opens the door to so many possibilities of developers who own these classic platforming IPs to see that, hey, this one did really well at the reboot. Okay, well, why don't we throw our hat in with whatever the hell we own? Sony can do Ape Escape. I love Ape Escape. Just, we need more games like this. Because it's just, this game takes me back to a simpler time, and I love it so much. There's not much I can say in the way of bad. I mean, the only thing I can really complain about is like some of the game's physics still feel a little off at points, like the ice physics or the water physics. But that's how they were in the PS1 titles, so I can't really complain. In fact, they even added the feature to where you can play as Coco Bandicoot in all 3 games if you really want to, for some reason. That's awesome that they added that in there. I like the new re-recorded dialogue with the current voice actors. I think the current Cortex, I think his name's Lex Lang. The current Cortex is great. He's been my favorite since Twinsanity, and I really like the way that this game's presented. Oh my gosh, I was expecting to like this game, but I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting to fall in love with this. This is my favorite PS4 game, by far. And if you got $40 and you're looking for a good time, the Crash Bandicoot N.sane Trilogy is definitely worth your money.
Hey geeks and gamers, TurboBot90013 here. Remember to subscribe to the Turbo Zone for more content. The Arcade Overlord, thank you. Stay retro. Turbo Zone.